Hello everyone and welcome to Craftworks. Today I'm going to be using this stamp set, The Gift of Giving, and I'm going to make a Dutch door card. So I've already cut this out and coloured it in, so I'm using this stamp here. So I love the cup. Okay, this is one of my favourites. I'm using that in a project in my class. I'm just going to move that over there just for a second, and I'm going to be using this embossing folder too. This is in the winter catalogue, so if you're after this one, you can see I love it. So I'm going to be using that as well. So let's just get started. So I'm using real red cardstock and I'm cutting this at 5.5 inches by 8 inches, scoring this at 4, just double checking got the right blade. Now for the front of my card I'm going to measure 2 3/4. Oh, there's 2 3/4. And I'm going to cut to the score line, just a little bit more, there we go, and then on the score line, so get it at 4 inches, cut that piece out completely, and this piece is going to go here, and this piece will pop up here like so. So you will get 2 cards out of 1 sheet of A4 for this, so really economical, just the way we like it. So let me just measure this piece here. So this is 4 inches by 2 3/4. So I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4 by 3.5. Doesn't look right. Why doesn't it look right? Because it's not. So what have I done wrong? 2.5. So this piece is 2.5. And now that fits nicely in there. I'm going to emboss this piece, but I just want to measure what I've got here. Now potentially I should have the same. So 2 3/4. So again I want 2.5 by 3 3/4. Okay, and that there I'm going to put here, but I'm going to add ink to my embossing folder. If you've not seen that before, okay, it's really cool. So if you're out of pretty papers, okay, this is your get out of jail free card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to emboss this piece here. So I need this plate and this machine. And to emboss we only need plate 1. Actually this one isn't a, let's see how we go. It's not a 3D one, so potentially I need the other plate. Let's just try, see what we end up with. Yeah, nothing. So you need plate 1, plate 2, your embossing folder and plate 4. because it's not a 3D embossing folder. Okay, and I'm just going to push that through. And that's what I have. Now I'm going to do the same again, but I'm going to add ink to the embossing folder. So let me just open this. So just so you can see, I am just pushing my ink pad very messily over the whole lot. Okay, I'm just going to take it off camera because I'm running out of space. So that is what it looks like. Bit of a massacre right this second. Now I do need to be careful because I have ink all over my fingers and thumbs. So now what I'm doing is I'm positioning my piece of card in here. I'm going to close it and I'm going to put it through again. And I suddenly thought probably should have done that the other way. No, don't like that. Or do I? No, changed my mind. So this time I'm going to cut a new piece. I wonder how big that is. Too big. Right, bear with. Right, let me just show you. Let me take this away just for a second. Okay. And let's do it on the other side. So here's my ink pad. So if you liked that messy look, you could certainly do that, but I don't. So I'm doing this side now, which is the smoother side. And you actually do get better coverage. And I'm putting the whole piece in here because I'm going to chop off the pieces that I want to use. I'm going to get rid of that. So plates 1, 2, embossing folder, all linked up. And I'm not a lefty. Right, let's get that out of the way. Ta-da! And that is what that is going to look like. So I'm just going to put that over there where I can't make any more mess with it. Move those. And I'm going to give this a second to dry because I'm going to cut it going this way, but I want the gingerbread man in there, so I'm going to cut it in a way that I get him. So I want this piece glued onto here, so it's really quite plain, this piece, because I'm going to pop up our little Santa. So I don't know if you've ever done this before with your embossing folders. It is really neat, and it's really good if you don't have any DSP. Dimensionals. And you could, if you wanted to, add with a blending brush some more colour here to make it a bit more interesting, but I'm not going to, because I think we've got quite a lot going on with our embossed piece with the ink. Now then, so I want 4 inches going this way and 2.5. So I'm going to cut that end off because I don't like that bit. Now measure twice, cut once. 3 3/4 takes me to here, and this piece is measuring 2 3/4, so 2.5. So I definitely want red. Oh, right, okay, so just going to move this just a little bit because I want the gingerbread man. Just taking a slither off of there because it's not straight. 2.5. And then this piece is going to glue in here. You could use these pieces on another project if you wanted to, if you're doing scrap challenges, things like that. Entirely up to you. Trying to see if this is straight. And then this piece goes here. So I'm just putting glue across the bottom. Just making sure there's no glue on the inside. Now I need a piece of white cardstock. And I'm going to cut this at 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. And there we have our Dutch fold card. How quick and easy is that? 14 minutes, and I didn't like the first one. So, I mean, if you wanted the other side of it done, what I would do is run it over with maybe a dauber or something. I would emboss it and then add ink afterwards, just so that the raised pieces have colour and more white background. But I actually really like this. It really pops. So thank you so much for joining me today. You will get inky, but it's a lot of fun. And I will see you soon. Goodbye.